Well, good day, my friends. It's great to be back with you again this month. We have a lot of items, a long list of things to review with you. A lot of exciting things have been happening here at AASA, and we want you to be aware of it. First thing, though, we want to recognize Veterans Day and let you know that AASA has developed a new toolkit that has been devised to assist schools with those children or families who have relatives that have been sent to the wars overseas. This is a very important event that we were very happy to cooperate with the Department of Defense on. It's available on our website, so please go on to aasa.org and look up the toolkit. I think you'll find it very informative, specifically, and I'm sure all of you do, have families in your communities that have parents that have been deployed overseas. So take advantage of the toolkit. We also, of course, want to express how sad we are over the recent tragic events that took place in Fort Hood, and we certainly offer our thoughts and prayers to the families of all those affected. We recently released our latest study on the economic downturn. This has been a series of surveys that we have done. The survey has been very well received. We get requests from the White House to be the first to get a copy of the survey. Same thing with the Department of Education. The media is very interested. And oftentimes, most recently, I think there's a bit of a disconnect between the reports that are being put out by the administration and what our surveys show. Specifically, our surveys indicate that the stimulus dollars are welcome, and we're grateful that they were made available. Unfortunately, though, there was a shell game that took place here. Where basically in many states the federal dollars were hijacked at the state capitol. And in essence, the dollars that school districts would have ordinarily received from the state were replaced by the federal dollars. So that in essence, the federal dollars did not amount to a supplement of funding to schools, but rather a supplanting of state dollars. And in many cases, school districts wound up getting less than they had expected to receive in funding that particular year. Yes, it's true that they were able to use these dollars to save many jobs that would otherwise have been eliminated, but by and large our surveys show that most school districts were able to save jobs, but bottom line, they wound up having to cut positions in the long run. And there's a tremendous concern right now over the economy, the continuing economic depression that we've been subject to over the last couple of years, and how long it's going to last. We're hearing reports now that 2 or 3 more years before we see any kind of a turnaround. And of course, the big fear on the part of many of you, as I travel around the states and speak to you, is what are you going to do when the stimulus dollars are gone and the state doesn't have the revenue to provide the difference, and you at the local level can't raise the revenue because real estate taxes are still depressed, sales taxes are still depressed, and income taxes are still depressed as we're confronted with double-digit unemployment rates. So these are major issues that we're facing right now. And along those lines, we have put together a letter, and I have a copy of it right here, that we are sending to Secretary Duncan, and we'll be meeting with him this month to review this letter, along with a group of superintendents that we've assembled. And in this letter, we offer some very specific suggestions to the Secretary as to what he can do using his regulatory powers to bring about some changes in the requirements that are still being imposed on school districts relative to No Child Left Behind. Now, I have to say that the Secretary has been reluctant to do this. When we first approached the department regarding changing some of the existing regulations, We were told that they did not want to let Congress off the hook by beginning to make changes in regulations as opposed to reauthorizing ESEA. But we're seeing that ESEA is not being reauthorized. And in spite of the fact that the Secretary has called for moving forward on the reauthorization, it's very doubtful, as we talk to our friends on the Hill, that this is going to happen anytime soon. It's doubtful that it's going to happen this spring. Potentially it might happen next year. But in the meantime, you are all saddled with all of the rules and regulations of No Child Left Behind, plus all of the additional requirements that have come as a result of the stimulus dollars.